The game of football is a great game. It's an American game. It's a Spartan game. It's got all the qualities that go into making a man, making a leader.
No matter the age, the game of football is always won in the trenches. Can you push the defense back and create a hole? Can you hold the line and make a tackle? As players get older, everything gets harder. From the lessons to the demands.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here, and try to run this play in the alley.
In high school and college, the linemen develop a toughness, becoming that immovable object or irresistible force on the line. A Lombardi-esque block of granite. Now, 4 of college football's best line up in Houston, hoping to join the fraternity of Lombardi Award winners. Welcome to the 2014 Lombardi Awards. Now, here's your host, Patty Smith.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the 45th Annual Rotary Lombardi Awards, given by the Rotary Club of Houston to the best offensive or defensive linemen in the country at the collegiate level. And this year, for the first time, in conjunction with FoxSports Southwest, a high school Lombardi Award will also be given. Now, this block of granite honors not only a true legend and icon, but back in his day, he was the best offensive lineman in the country from Fordham University. Vince Lombardi developed a reputation as a tough-as-nails competitor. From his playing days at Fordham to his coaching the Green Bay Packers, that reputation became his legacy. For those hoping to claim a piece of that legacy by winning the Rotary Lombardi Award, they have a lot to live up to. His legacy is as solid as the granite on the trophy, but how did Lombardi turn his players into champions? Bill Curry played under Lombardi for 2 years, and the lessons he learned from the man he still uses today.
Vince Lombardi was and is a walking force field. To be in his presence was to have your life changed. The great Louis Armstrong, who was one of my heroes as a child because I was a trumpet player, the great Satchmo tells the story of that which intimidated him. One of his jobs growing up in South Louisiana with his Aunt Hattie Mae was to go down and get water out of the spring-fed pond since there was no running water in the house. On one occasion, when he walked down and looked in the pond, he saw 2 big eyes looking back at him, and behind the 2 big eyes was a very long alligator. So he threw the bucket down, ran back to the house where Aunt Hattie Mae was waiting. She said, "Louis, where's the water?" He said, "Aunt Hattie Mae, there's an alligator in the pond. I ain't getting the water today." She said, "Louis, march yourself back down to the pond. Get the bucket, get the water. The alligator's just as afraid of you as you are of it." He said, "Aunt Hattie Mae, if that alligator is as scared of me as I am scared of that alligator, that water ain't fit to drink." Vince Lombardi was my alligator. I had a parting of the ways with Coach Lombardi because I wasn't man enough to handle him. I ended up playing against him for many years with the Baltimore Colts. I said some things publicly critical of him because I thought he was abusive. I really thought that. I didn't understand. So that when it came time for him to face the ultimate test and he was dying at Georgetown Hospital, a teammate called me. He said, "Look, you're here in Washington, Curry, and you're going to go see Coach Lombardi with me today." I said, "Oh, no, I'm not going to see Coach Lombardi." He wouldn't let me in the room. Bob Long, my teammate, said, "I'm going to come up to that room, and if I have to drag your big you-know-what out of that room, you're going to go see Coach Lombardi with me. We're going to light a candle for him." Most terrifying moment that I've ever faced another human being. When I stepped off the elevator, there stood the beautiful Marie Lombardi with Sonny Jurgensen, the quarterback, because Coach Lombardi had gone to take over the Redskins. I was really more afraid of seeing Marie than I was Vince. She embraced me, took me, guided me into the room, and nudged me up close to the bed of the great man. His right arm was filled with IVs. He extended his left hand, which I took, and mumbled and stumbled through something like, "Coach, I am so sorry. I shot my mouth off. I was wrong, and I came here to apologize and to tell you that you've meant a lot to my life." The body was emaciated, but the eyes had not changed. The grip had not changed. He fixed me with those steely eyes, and he almost smiled and said, "Bill, you can mean a lot to my life if you'll pray for me." I promised that I would, and with that I had to leave the room. But when I left the room, much like the great Willie Davis, the great Vince Lombardi, what had he done? He had transformed my life by forgiving me when I least deserved it. And so it is when we call this name Lombardi and put an award on it, it means more than you might imagine. Because as great as the man's record was, his depth was even greater, his faith greater than that, and his legacy, that which lives in our hearts forever. God bless you. Thank you.
Coming up on the Rotary Lombardi Award Show. For the first time ever, high school stars get their own Lombardi Award. But first, the college finalists get the experience of their lives while bringing smiles to those fighting for theirs.
The smiles were evident, but it wasn't just from the patients at Texas Children's or MD Anderson. The finalists for the Rotary Lombardi Award couldn't help but to get caught up in the moment as well. The players helped the kids be kids, taking the time to talk to them in their rooms and play games with them. Whether helping them fly high for a big dunk or getting schooled on video games, the kids were able to take their minds off their situations for a while and just enjoy the day.
It all goes back to these children who are fighting cancer and trying to get better, and it's awesome for us to be a part of that and volunteer time, alongside the Rotary Club and other staff members that volunteer, and just seeing the smile on their faces is amazing.
Clemson defensive end Vic Beasley spent the 2014 season tormenting ACC offenses. The senior spent nearly as much time in opponents' backfields as the running backs and quarterbacks he terrorized. Beasley had 18.5 tackles for loss for the Tigers, in addition to his 11 sacks, led Clemson to 9 wins and a spot in the Russell Athletic Bowl against Oklahoma.
If you really just go and watch the tape on Vic Beasley, just sit down, and how many games we said? We played 9 games. Just watch the 9 games of Vic Beasley. Just him. It's impressive what he's been able to do against what he's had to face. I mean, because he's seen it all. He's become very disruptive in the run game, just as disruptive there as he's been in the pass game. He's run people down from backside. His first step movement has allowed him to really create problems in the run game. His ability to redirect, where he really was out of the play, but his ability and athleticism to be able to redirect, I think has been a game changer.
They don't come much stronger than Ohio State defensive end Joey Bosa. Just a sophomore, Bosa has made his presence felt across the Big Ten, helping to lead the Buckeyes into their first ever college football playoff. Bosa led the Big Ten in sacks with 13 and tackles for loss with 20. At one point, he had a streak of 14 consecutive games with at least 1 tackle for loss. He also forced 4 fumbles in 2014, all of which are good reasons why Bosa was named the Big Ten's Nagurski-Woodson Defensive Player of the Year.
Joey Bosa is one of the most unique athletes I've ever coached. The combination of strength and power it's very unique. A guy that big that is so quick. So he has the ability to not only bull rush you, but to, I call it, get skinny on offensive players, and that means turn sideways and not give a big blocking surface. So without question, what makes him so special is a combination of strength and power.
Step ahead on the Rotary Lombardi Award Show. The finalists find out just what it means to be DQ strong. But first, high schools take center stage as the first ever Rotary High School Lombardi gets presented.
For the first time, the Rotary Club of Houston has partnered up with Fox Sports Southwest to present the Rotary Club of Houston Lombardi Award for high schoolers. Let's introduce you to the 4 finalists.
I really knew that it was more of a college award because I've heard about past winners like Ndamukong Suh and a Manateo. So like really, I was like, man, this is very outstanding. I must have had a good year, must have had a good 4 years.
Finding out that he was a high school Lombardi finalist came as a pleasant surprise to Cy Fall's defensive end Devontae Lampkin. His opponents had no pleasant surprises when facing him on the field. Lampkin was a one-man wrecking ball on offenses in Cy-Fair in 2014, blowing up plays before they had a chance to develop. His talents made him one of the most sought-after recruits in Houston and will take him to Austin and the University of Texas next year.
To be compared with those guys is, like I said, another honor. I mean, it shows how people really feel about you when they're willing to say your name in amongst a name of greats. So I do appreciate them for putting me in that category.
In Fort Bend Ridgepoint's brief existence, it's built quite a reputation as a defensive powerhouse. Much of that reputation is thanks to linebacker Cameron Townsend. Townsend led the Panthers to their deepest trip into the playoffs 3 rounds before falling to state finalist Temple by just 3 points. Before then, nobody got the best of Ridgepoint and their defense. The Panthers pitched 4 shutouts in 2014 and held 4 other opponents to less than 10 points. Westfield tackle Toby Weathersby may be the only offensive player among the high school Lombardi finalists, but it's his play that really made the senior stand out. His dominating play on the line helped pave the way for a Mustangs offense that scored 36 points per game and reached the 6A Division II state semifinals. Weathersby's blocking paved the way for 3 Mustangs runners to gain at least 750 yards rushing and provided protection to allow quarterback Dylan Sterling Cole to throw for 2,200 yards. George Ranch defensive end Kingsley Kiki has been a big part of the Longhorns' meteoric rise to success. Kiki led the defense his junior year and senior years, helping lead George Ranch to the region finals in their first years of varsity play. The A&M-bound Kiki's efforts helped George Ranch to an eye-popping 22-point margin of victory in the Longhorns' 12 wins.
It's amazing, and I'm really happy, and I'm blessed. I thank God for everything.
The winner of the Greater Houston High School Rotary Lombardi Award presented by Fox Sports Southwest is Toby Weathersby from Westfield High School. What did it mean to you? What went through your mind when they called out your name?
Man, I wasn't expecting it because, I'm here with a lot of defensive players, and I'm the only offensive lineman here, so I'm like, man, people like to see the defensive players, so I said, maybe I don't think I have a chance. And they called my name, I was like, I'm looking around like, nah, that can't be. I looked back up there, and it was me. I was like, man, it's crazy. It's like something in my body just went numb, and I just sat there and just took a moment like, man, everything has paid off. My hard work is paying off, and it's still got to pay off because, by us being still in the playoffs, and we got a long way to go. Well, not a long way to go, but we got a short time to get there. But it's just like everything's just working. My senior year is going great, so I just can't ask for anything better than that.
And you had an entire table full of people hooting and hollering for you. What did it mean to you to be able to share it with your family? And you seem like you got a little bit emotional up there giving your speech.
Yeah, I did because, that's right there. Outside of football, the coaches, their family too, man. The coaches are like brothers, and by them being here to support me, and from freshman year on up, they seen me grow. And like I say, my mom, my grandma, grandpa, they seen me grow from when I was a baby. So, for them to be here to just to support me, it's nothing better than that feeling.
Coming up on the Rotary Lombardi Award Show, who will walk away with the Rotary Lombardi Award? And David Quessenberry shares his battle with cancer.
Hau'oli Kikaha certainly made his mark on the University of Washington. The native Hawaiian leaves the Huskies as the school's record holder in career sacks. It shouldn't come as a surprise then that Kikaha set the Huskies' single-season record in that category in 2014. In addition to those 18 sacks, though, Kikaha also racked up 24 tackles for loss for a whopping 124 yards. Those numbers also set single-season records at Washington. Those numbers made the defensive end a regular among finalists for defensive awards. In addition to the Lombardi Award, Kikaha was also a finalist for the Butkus Award, Lot Impact Trophy, Ted Hendricks Award, and was a semifinalist for the Bednarik Award. A Scooby by any other name should tackle so well. The sophomore from Arizona burst onto the scene with show-stopping plays like the sack fumble on Heisman Trophy winner Marcus Mariota that sealed the Wildcats' win over Oregon back in October. But Wright's play has been much more than one play this year. Wright led Arizona with 89 tackles, and when you add in his assists, the number climbs to 153 in 13 games. Wright also had an amazing 14 sacks and 28 tackles for loss, leading the Wildcats to the Pac-12 championship game and a spot in the Fiesta Bowl.
Well, he plays multiple positions. You know, he'll play defensive end in a pass rush situation. He'll play linebacker. He'll move around the field a little bit. He's a guy we want out there all the time because you know he's going to give great effort. He's got great strength, and he has an ability to recognize things very quickly.
The great Vince Lombardi passed away back in 1970 after a short battle with cancer, so it's no surprise that the theme here at the Lombardi Awards is about cancer awareness and prevention. Well, this year the Rotary Club of Houston is honoring Houston Texans lineman David Quessenberry, who is also fighting his own battle with the disease.
Football is kind of the way I looked at it, brought me to where I am right now. And most importantly, it's introduced me to a lot of wonderful, amazing people. If it wasn't for football, I wouldn't be sitting here with you today. I was diagnosed with lymphoma. And it just kind of came on very, very fast. The type of lymphoma that I have is called T-cell lymphoblastic lymphoma. It's a very aggressive cancer. There's so many different types of lymphoma, but when you are going through it, you can relate to all of them. And there are so many people that are affected with it. I think there's 700,000 people that are living with or in remission of lymphoma in America alone. And so when you hear that word, you just know that's how many people are in this fight with you. That's how many people are in that struggle to beat this disease. You know, in the beginning, it was just, there was so much gusto, and there was so much you know, support, like an overwhelming sense of support, and it was amazing. And I just remember thinking to myself, man, I'm gonna beat this. Seriously, I'm gonna beat this. I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna play, and that was it. And that was good. But as we got through it, and days turned to weeks to months, you know, the days got longer and it got harder. And then a lot of questions started coming up, like, will I ever play again? How is my body going to react after I'm done with chemo? You start to get all these questions and thoughts, but luckily I've had people who have gone through it reach out to me. In the beginning I did, it was, why did this happen to me? What caused it? You know, you start playing all these thoughts in your head, but I'm at the point now where I've accepted it. This is my diagnosis, this is my life now, and it's completely different than what it was before. But moving forward, it's just another thing that will make me who I am in the future. I was on the Lombardi watch list, I think, going into my senior year of college, and I remember, you know, reading about the award. But I got a different perspective on the award now that I'm where I'm at. It really lets you see how much this award can do for good. It's a good thing. It can raise awareness. It can raise money. It can help people out that are fighting cancer. And for them to come to me and ask to be a presenter and just even be a part of it anyway is awesome. And I will definitely help out this year and years to come. Where I go from here is I got to beat this thing. This is where I'm at now. I'm going into my 9th round of chemo. Hopefully we're done with the chemo and we're on to radiation after 10 rounds. And then after that, it's a fight to get back onto that field. That's what I'm doing. And hopefully my fight and my journey can inspire other people along the way. And I think at the end of the day, that's why I play.
Rotary Lombardi Award Show. David Quessenberry reveals the winner of the 2014 Rotary Lombardi Award.
And now we do the envelope, please, and give it to David so he can make this big announcement.
And the winner of the 2014 Lombardi Trophy is Scooby Wright. Congratulations, man.
Scooby Wright, the winner, just moments ago was announced. Just kind of take us through the emotion, Scooby, when you heard your name.
I just felt really honored to be able to accept the award and be able to represent the University of Arizona football program.
And you know, we saw such an emotional presentation and speech by David Quessenberry. What did it mean to you to not only watch that, but then to be presented this award by David?
That really hit me home because that reminded me why you play the game. I mean, it's not all about football all the time. It's about helping people and doing service to the community and helping people out.
You know, we talked so much, you know, before this event even started about this. You know, you're sitting here with this trophy, and I know you're honored to have it. But it's not just you. You're taking that back home to your friends, your linemen, your teammate, your school. A lot of people are involved in this.
I mean, yeah. I mean, as you said in my speech, one guy doesn't make a team, and 11 guys and 10 guys don't make a defense. So I'm only one of the representatives from the University of Arizona football program.
All right. Well, where's it going to go?
I have no idea yet. Probably at the university somewhere.
Mom didn't make a little space for it on the mantle somewhere?
Yeah, probably something like that.
All right, well, congratulations. Awesome job. Again, I know you probably need to go out and celebrate, so we're going to cut you loose, let you go, but it was a pleasure talking to you, pleasure meeting you, and congratulations.
All right, thank you. Nice meeting you.
Thank you so much. And that's going to do it from the Bayou Music Center, your 2014 Rotary Lombardi winner, Scooby Wright III. Thanks for watching.